In this, do not under any circumstances put your fingertips in this to taste it, unless of course you're some kind of criminal and you'd like to not have fingerprints anymore. Then I guess you can. And when all the sugar's melted and it looks like that, turn off the heat. You are done. Congratulations, you just made the most terrifying form of caramel known to man. Alright, but don't get cocky. We have one step left. You're going to quickly and carefully take this over to your ramekins and distribute it equally to the bottom of each. And because it's so hot, it's going to spread out nice and evenly. So those are all set and ready for the creme part of the creme caramel, which is nothing more than a simple custard. And by simple, I mean it only took me literally 30 years to figure out the exact perfect formula. Although in fairness, I was doing other stuff. But anyway, my formula includes 1 whole egg plus 3 yolks. We're also going to add a pinch of salt and some white granulated sugar. And you can just dump all the sugar in. But you know what? How often do you get to see sugar being sprinkled over egg yolks? Not that often. So I wanted to savor that. At that point, we're going to take a whisk and we're going to pop those yolks, which feels strangely satisfying. And then we're going to mix that up until the sugar is dissolved. And we don't have to go too long here. We're just going to mix that for about a minute until we can't feel any of that grainy sugar in the bowl. It might get a little frothy. The color will turn kind of a pale yellow. It's going to look just like that. And at that point, we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. First of which being my secret ingredient, creme fraiche. And as far as alternatives to that, I will talk about that on the blog post. But if you do want it to be the most awesome creme caramel in the world, you will use that. We're also going to add some whole milk, a nice big splash of vanilla, and then a little splash of another secret ingredient, a little orange cognac, also known as Grand Marnier. You may, of course, remember that from our world-famous souffle video. So a little bit of that, and you're going to take your whisk, and you're going to mix that until completely incorporated, until completely smooth. And that is ready to ladle into our prepared ramekins. We're not going to fill them all the way up. So we're going to go about 2/3 to 75% of the way. Try to portion as even as possible. Once those are filled, we're going to take some hot tap water and you're going to fill your casserole dish halfway up. And that's going to help the heat transfer more slowly and more evenly throughout the cooking process. You're going to go ahead and place that in the middle of a preheated 325-degree oven for about 45 to 50 minutes. Or until just barely set. And I usually start checking around 40 minutes, around 42 minutes, something like that. This is not a recipe you're going to screw up by peeking and checking. So I'll open the oven, I'll give the pan a little shake to see what's happening.